our end result needs to be, I want to be able to saddle him up, get on and ride off with no buck, nothing. This is Tucker. This is the cold-backed horse. I've been working him a couple times a day, every day, and I wanted to show you an update of where he's at, what he's doing. In the beginning, if you didn't see the first video, he was cold-backed, and every time the owner would saddle him up and get on, he would buck. Typical cold-back action. What I'm wanting to accomplish here is I want to get him saddled and moving his feet without any buck. And that's what I've been working towards. I always bridle first when I'm working certain horses, and this is one of the horses that falls in that category. I talked about why in that previous video, that first video that I did of him. From the beginning, he wants to keep me on that right eye. And see, as soon as I picked up this pad, he showed me his right eye. This is something that I've been working through the whole time. There, he kind of relaxed, and now he's looking at me straight on. As soon as I moved, he gave me the right eye again. This is something that's very important to take note of. That needs to go away, but it is getting much better. So I want to throw the pad up here a couple of times for both sides. I'm doing less of this than I was in the beginning. But remember, I want to give his mind a chance to take everything in. And he has been doing very well at that. I'm really pleased with how he's progressing. Now I'll take and put the saddle up there. Come on. In the beginning, I was putting the girth and the stirrup up so it didn't hit on him, didn't bounce on him. I'm not doing that anymore. Now I'm just throwing it up there. One thing I have added is I want to let him know that bad behavior is not acceptable. So I have started bumping the halter when he starts moving his feet or acting like he wants to overreact. When he gives me a reaction that I don't want, I'll bump the halter. Not bumping on the bit on his face, I'm bumping on the halter. I want to let him know that certain behaviors are not acceptable, and that's how I'm doing it. And you see, as soon as I bumped the halter, his feet got still. He understands what is expected of him. I don't want to surprise him with the girth. I'm going to pull it up, bouncing on him just a little bit. Then I'll start girthing him up. Now, if I see him get tight in his back or bow his back up, I'm going to give him a bump on the halter. Couple of things there. One, it's to let him know that that's not acceptable, that he's working towards a behavior that's not acceptable. And two, I want to keep reinforcing with him what is good, what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. And as soon as he's rounding his back up, he's thinking about that and he's going to overreact to it. I don't want that to happen. Now I'm going to ask him to move his feet. If he bows his back, I'm going to bump the halter. That's not acceptable. Walk off again. There we go. See, just as soon as I bump the halter, he's still a little concerned, but he's not acting on that concern. That is a very big point to make note of. It's okay for him to be concerned. I believe when he was started, this was all rushed way too much. So I don't mind him being concerned, but he has had enough time to understand that that concern is not valid. Tighten another hole. I'm not concerned about getting it tight enough that I could get on. I want to be getting close to that, but I'm not worried about being there right now. Now what I'm going to do is attach the lunge line just so I have a longer rope to work with. I've worked a lot on letting him know what behaviors are not acceptable just by bumping the halter. That's all I've done. That's all he needs. Now, the next step, I want to simulate my legs on his side, bouncing around. And the other thing is I want to give him something that might concern him, but also something that I can tell him, you should not be concerned about this. This will get me moving forward and get him progressing forward. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clip these to the back ring on the saddle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask him to move his feet. Again, just walking off and moving his feet is the reaction I want. Any other reaction I don't want. He's licking and chewing. Okay to be concerned, but not overly concerned, not overly reactive to that concern. What I want to do now, I said in the beginning that I did not want to lunge him. And in the beginning that was true, but now it's time to get him moving his feet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get him moving his feet, but all we're going to do is walk and trot. I don't want to lunge him to the point where I'm lunging him down, because I think that's a big part of what created this problem to begin with. I'm just going to move his feet. I want the brain to kick in, think about what's going on. If he gives me an action I don't want, I'll bump on the halter and let him know. I'm going to work him with a little bit of effort. We're moving up a little bit, so he's going to need to work kind of hard, or harder, and then we're going to go from there. So I'm going to start by pointing, asking him to move. All I want is a walk. Our end result needs to be, I want to be able to saddle him up, get on and ride off with no buck, nothing bad, him ride off like he's a broke horse. So I'm working towards that. He got saddled, he got these bumpers on, give him something to be a little concerned about, and now we're just walking off. This is the reaction that I'm wanting. Let's change directions. I have talked a lot in the past about how I lunge and how I change directions. It's a lot different than what a lot of clinicians teach. I do the way I do it for a reason. I want hind end engaged turns. I never disengage the hind end on the turn. Everything I'm ever going to want this horse to do, he needs to have his hind end engaged. And I want that from this point, lunging. I think disengaging the hind end on a performance horse is a really bad habit to get into. Good boy. All right, let's go ahead and come up to a trot. Starting to look like a broke horse. Change directions. Right there in the direction change is a good place for one that's prone to buck, because he's changing directions with his hind end engaged, which means the back is engaged, the hips are engaged, the back is up, so his back comes up and he feels that saddle, and if one's going to buck, that's the time to do it. Change directions. Good boy. Now, as this progresses, the next step, I want to work this a couple more days until I can saddle him and come to this point and I never have to bump the halter. You saw today, I bumped the halter, twice maybe, to let him know that a certain behavior was not acceptable. I want him to get to this point and me not bump the halter at all, not tell him that a certain behavior is not acceptable. Then he'll be time to get on and ride off. The thing about bumping his halter to let him know what's not acceptable, when I get in the saddle, I can use that same thing. And just like he's coming right back to me now, he'll come right back to me then too. I like that when I ask for the turn, he turns to a point and then waits to see if I'm going to invite him into my space or if I'm going to send him on the other way. That means his brain is engaged. His brain is working. That's what I want to see. His brain thinking and not his body overreacting. So that's a little clip of where we're at now. This is Tucker. I'll put a link to his playlist up top here. Until next time, thank you for watching.